Hello everyone, this is Chelsea from Those with Words. Welcome to the channel. In this video, I am going to finish up the last pages of an insert in my Olive Traveler's Notebook. This lovely insert is made by Sea Salted Paper on Instagram, and I purchased it years ago through Instagram direct messages. And I have really been enjoying memory keeping in this for a couple of months. I only have a few pages left, as you can see on the screen, and the footage for today, I am going to decorate the rest of the pages and do some writing in it as well. I've been using this insert for about 4.5 months, so I started using it a little bit after mid-March, and I am making my way through it all the way through the end of July. So it's got all of my summer memories and some spring too. So it's got a good, 2 seasons in there. And I really just enjoyed memory keeping my everyday happenings in here this year. I have also missed you quite a bit. I haven't really been able to create videos and content and such. I've been a little quiet on not just YouTube, but also Instagram, just in general, online, social media, and things like that. And the big reason for that is I am actually expecting. So, my partner and I are expecting a little permanent roommate to join us first thing next year, or we're really hoping maybe by the end of the year, but we'll see how it goes. So obviously, we're very excited. This is something that my partner and I have wanted for quite some time, so we are thrilled. But at the same time, with it being my first time, being pregnant, I had a bit of nausea and a lot of food aversions and such in my first trimester. So I was really not feeling well. And I honestly spent more time on the couch, not really doing anything for a long time. So I, didn't really sit at my desk creating as much. I definitely, could not really sit there for a while to edit videos or record anything. But thankfully, I am on the mend and I have more energy now. So I'm hoping to make some more videos for the rest of the year before, again, the new little permanent roommate joins us. And we'll just see how it goes from there. I had half a mind to just maybe keep it on the down low for as long as I could, but then I realized that with the 2025 Techo Kaigi discussions coming up, I wanted to make a video about that eventually. And a lot of my choices are being informed by the fact that, next year I'm going to be dealing with a completely new experience of being a first-time parent. Probably won't have the most time or energy to journal like this as I'm showing you on this video right now. So I'm trying to stay realistic with my expectations, and that's being reflected in my upcoming Techo Kaigi, which I hope to share hopefully within the next month or two. And when I'm talking about those things in my videos and showing you, journaling supplies, I didn't want to have to hide the fact that, why am I making these changes? I'm consolidating because I just won't have time or, something like that. Like I didn't want to have to skirt around that. I wanted to be honest and open about this big change in my life. So even though I'm not necessarily making an announcement anywhere per se, if you are listening to this voiceover and watching this video, first of all, thank you for even being here. But yeah, now you know why, why I haven't been around as much and why I haven't been able to maybe get up to my usual creative endeavors in the last month or so. I'm just doing my usual decorating in here with some washi tape and PET tape. And then what I'm going to do afterwards is I'm going to go back in with my markers and gel pens and fill out the rest of the journal. So just to kind of jump back into what's actually going on the screen a little bit. I usually like to explain what's going on the screen a little bit more, but today I'm feeling a little bit different. And while you're just kind of watching me decorate these pages and fill them out, I thought I would just take a slightly different approach than usual and just catch up with you a little bit. What else is going on? Let's see. So at the point of this voiceover, it is right after the San Francisco Pen Show. And I actually managed to go. I was really grateful that I had some of my energy and appetite back so I could actually go and, see a couple of friends who are coming from out of town, shop a little bit as well. I didn't end up buying a pen this year. I just ended up buying some stationery. It was actually really, really crowded. I didn't go to the early access portion of Friday, so I just went to general admission for Friday and Saturday, and I wasn't actually in the show for too long, so I probably still missed a bunch of people and a bunch of different vendors who were there. I definitely didn't get to maybe see everything that I wanted to see, but I kept my expectations pretty realistic this year. And at the end of the day, I think I got to mostly everything I wanted to get to. So I am going to work on that video next in terms of just like a recap, share a bit of my haul, and do some journaling as well. I'm working on a passport traveler's notebook insert right now with all the memories from the pen show. So looking forward to sharing that with you sometime soon. But yeah, I was really happy that I got to go and enjoy my time. I didn't end up going on Sunday. I feel like I'm using all the talking points already that I'm supposed to save for the SF Pen Show video, so maybe I won't elaborate too much further than I am right now. But it was a good time, and I'm just really grateful that I was able to make it out there. It is local to me, so it's not too far or anything, but I was a little worried about my energy levels and whatnot, but I did much better than I expected, so it was great. One other thing that I guess I can mention is after this insert is done, I'm actually not quite sure that I'm going to have a memory keeping insert for the rest of the year, like for the everyday memories and such. So for those of you who may be familiar with what I'm using this year, I have a small Nolte 1180 notebook that I'm using for daily highlights. And then after that, anything from there that I really want to expand upon, that's where I go into this standard size traveler's notebook and I expand on it, I decorate, I do all this fun stuff that I'm doing right now. And then I write in more length about what happened, because in the Nolte 1180, because it's a daily highlight notebook, I only write maybe 2 or 3 bullet points for every single day. And if I want to write more about something like an experience or a special occasion, family dinner, birthdays, just things like that, then this is where I chose to expand upon those events. But for some reason in the last couple of months, and I wonder, it probably has to do with my drop in energy and just like my changing body and moods, I just felt like putting more and more effort into a standard size traveler's notebook insert has felt more like homework rather than something I really love doing. And the reason in the first place that I changed to that kind of, I only write the daily highlights, and then if I want to expand upon it, then I will expand upon it in a traveler's notebook. Like, the reason I chose that approach in the first place is so that I don't have to have a dated traveler's notebook insert, because that for sure was feeling like homework last year. So I made an attempt to reduce that homework feeling, quote unquote homework feeling. And that worked for the first half of the year. I was doing great. I think in my last few videos, I've mentioned there's like a Techo Kaigi update, and I'm like, I still am enjoying everything. And, I'm using the same things that I used at the beginning of the year, which is a first for me, I think, in 2024. So I was really happy with that. But actually now, at the end of August and looking into fall, winter, and just really thinking about how I want to approach my 2025 setup, I'm finding that maybe this type of memory keeping can go on pause for a little while. Traveler's notebooks have always been my love and my go-to, so I am definitely going to keep using them in some capacity. So for example, with the SF Pen Show, I still have a passport refill that I'm going to work on, but it's like very event-based. I also have a small trip coming up just with my partner in a couple of weeks. And for that, I'm also planning to bring a traveler's notebook with me and do some journaling there, but it's like I'm bringing the accordion refill. So it'll be a little bit more flexible, not as much writing probably, just ephemera and photos and maybe some drawings. But it's very much focused on that trip and not necessarily what's going on with me every single day. And I think for the rest of the year, that's the approach that I'm going to take with my traveler's notebooks. Just kind of, really if there's a week-long occasion or something, or if I do take a weekend getaway somewhere, those kinds of things that I want to document specifically. But other than that, just in terms of my everyday stuff, family, friends, just everyday occurrences, I think I'm just going to keep that in my Nolte as little bullet points and be okay with the fact that I'm not necessarily making a decorated page once a week, for example. So that is an impromptu update on my current journals and notebooks that I'm using. Everything else is going pretty strong. I do have some extra thoughts about how I want to consolidate some things into my plotter and also have like a health journal section in it instead of having a separate health journal like I do now in the Hobonichi weeks, etc., etc. I can go on and on. I'm sure a lot of you who also use planners and notebooks can relate to the fact that, around this time of year, despite the fact that it's not even September yet on our calendars, so many notebooks for 2025 are coming out, and a lot of us are thinking about what has worked for us this year, what do we want to change next year, if anything. I always admire those folks who are time and time again using the exact same notebooks. They've sort of found what really works for them and their lives, and they just use the same ones. They just repurchase the same books every year and they're done. And I think that's really, really great. I personally hope to get to that point someday. But as I am navigating this really big upcoming change in my life, I do think some things will have to change for 2025. Not in a very drastic way, but enough that I do need to think through it a little bit more. Something else that I'm doing in this video that's kind of interesting is I left the real-time writing in there. I usually tend to skip ahead because I figure who wants to see me write a whole page? But because this is a bit of a more of a catch-up video than anything, I wanted to just leave that in and just show you what my real-time writing is like and my lettering as well. These are Sailor Shikiori markers that I'm using. I've talked about these so many times in my channel. If you have watched any of my other videos, you're probably like, she is talking about them again. But I really enjoy them for headers and titles and things like that. And I'm working on the very last page of this insert now. And it's gotten quite thick because of all of the photos and ephemera and everything that I've managed to put in here. And I felt really bittersweet writing this last page. I, felt like I was leaving something behind because I knew that going forward for the rest of this year at least, and probably for some time into the future, I am probably only going to revisit this type of memory keeping for, like I said earlier, specific trips or, just really specific occasions, and not really stressed about documenting the everyday in this particular format. So in a way, my decorative journaling is being reduced even more. I don't know if that's the right word, reduced. Or maybe I'm just, another way to look at it is I'm just picking the right time for me to be able to memory keep and journal when it feels right for me. And to me, that's how it should feel. I shouldn't ever feel like I'm making my life work for a journal or a notebook that I have. I just want to enjoy using them, and they'll always be there, right? No matter what. So I can pick them up whenever. And that's actually one of my favorite things about Traveler's Notebook, is how flexible they are, and the fact that you can switch out the refills, make extremely specific topic related refills. Another fun thing that I want to do before the end of the year is one of my most anticipated video games is coming out at the end of October. I'm a big Dragon Age fan, and the new game is coming out on Halloween, at least as of right now when I'm recording this voiceover, and I want to create an insert for it. And that's so specific, but the Traveler's Notebook allows for things like that to happen. So I just, it's another reason for me to journal, another cover to swap out just for fun. And I'm, really going to have fun with that. So there you go. That's another example on how I'm going to use my Traveler's Notebook. So it might not be the everyday stuff, but just things that I enjoy, hobbies, trips, and the like. Now I'm finishing up just by going back into the sticker release paper refill, and I restocked, quote unquote again. I filled up the sticker release paper some time ago with a bunch of different stickers because I was running low on everything inside. So I filled it up, and now I'm using a bunch of the stuff in there again, and it feels really good. It's a really convenient way for me to have access to all of my stickers, big and small. And I'm just adding a few here and there on the pages to fill them out and make them feel a tiny bit more complete. But that is the video. That's all of the pages that I completed. So I'm just showing you a quick flip through from where I started. Again, I really did enjoy using this insert, and finishing it felt amazing. Also bittersweet, like I mentioned earlier. And I appreciate you if you're still watching. Thank you for navigating this time of big life changes with me. And I hope to make more videos while I have more energy. And that's how the journal is looking like. It is quite thick, but very, very full of memories. And I'm grateful to be able to complete it and show you the process. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.